I would start my presentation with just a small introduction about MEFMA, just to let you know who is MEFMA, what are we doing, and what do we offer. And then I can tell you what we have done in terms of going back to work and supporting our industry. So MEFMA is a nonprofit organization. We are registered under Dubai Association Center. And we are also registered under the Global Facility Management Association. Our vision and mission is to be the voice of the industry and help the facility management industry promoting the strategic values and best practices of facilities management in the Middle East. Now, this is what we offer. We help advance the sector through, I think this is what any nonprofit association would offer to their industry, is basically, all the events, workshops, conferences, networking events. Now, webinars are added, training and qualifications, and doing some research and reports. We are in the Middle East and all of these countries. And we're proud that we are the voice of the industry in all the Middle East for facilities management. Now, I won't take long about the introduction of MEFMA. That's why I went by quickly about it, but just to explain what have we done in terms of facilities management and why is it important that I'm speaking now about going back to work, because it's all about the buildings that we're in. It's all about how to take care of those buildings to serve us better, to allow us to be safe. As Ali said, it's very important for us to be safe, to feel safe that we're going back to offices nowadays. So what we have done is we have partnered up with a company called Frost & Sullivan, who does research and consultancy services. And we have done a research about the impact of COVID-19 on the FM industry in the Middle East. And here are a few of our findings about the impact. So we have found that COVID-19 has created both opportunities and disruptions in the facility management industry. Opportunities are shown in that the disinfection and sanitization demand alone has increased by 95%. So everybody wants to make sure that they disinfect and sanitize their buildings before the occupants should go back to them, whether it's going back to work or malls or airports or residential buildings even. So that has created an opportunity. People are now more aware of how important facility management is, including the cleaning services and disinfection and sanitization. So it has created more awareness and more demand for facilities management. But on the other hand, there are additional costs, because now all these companies need to comply with all the government's compliance, health and safety regulations, all the precautions that needs to be taken. At the same time, as the economy has been affected, payments are not done quickly enough. So we have found out that some of these losses might not be recovered, but on the long run, it's very important because it has created an awareness, a general awareness of how important facilities management is. The third point that we have found out is the technology adoption. Everybody has been adopting technology very fast. So the adoption has become very fast. They have been implementing AI, going to touchless. They need to start even. They started even using, monitoring their equipment from online. They don't have to go on the sites to be able to do that. even everybody else has been, using online systems, doing training online instead of physical. So implementing an adoption to technology has increased a lot in the facility management industry in the Middle East. In total, what we have found out is that the Middle East FM industry is well prepared to address the global pandemic situation. Whether it's the government's regulations that they have set quickly within these 2-3 months that we were in lockdown and trying to figure out what to be done, or even the facility management companies and how they adopted quickly, taking these precautions and complying to all the government rules and regulations and precautions. Now, what is the best practice to go back to work in terms of facilities management? As Ali said, the most important thing is human health and safety. It's very important that we make sure that our occupants and our employees are safe and are healthy and are not in risk of getting infected because of not following the proper rules and regulations to disinfect or to clean the buildings that we are in. So that's the first important thing, is that all we care about is our employees and occupants' health and safety. Number two, in facilities management is accommodation separation. So because there are a lot of workers that, we call them our FM heroes, that have been doing all the work and doing the cleaning and disinfection and everything else that the buildings are requiring. So to take care of them and to make sure, or to reduce the risk of them getting any infections, some FM companies, or most of the FM companies, have now done the Team A, Team B plan, which is separating the Team A from Team B. They don't meet. They work in shifts. So whenever Team A is outside, Team B is in the accommodation. And then once Team B leaves to go to work, the accommodation gets disinfected completely, and then Team A could join it. So this will lower the risk for our employees to get infected. Number three is awareness. It's very important, whether it's our employees or anybody, to be very aware about this pandemic, about what are the precautions that we should be taking. What happens if I feel some symptoms? What should I do? Or I have seen one of my colleagues with some symptoms. Should I be wearing my mask all the time, or can I take it off at this time? What do I do in this building to disinfect it properly? It's very important that we're all aware of what is happening during this pandemic and what should we do. Number four is the fast technology transformation. It's very important, as Ali said, there are tools that we can use to go back to work and using the technology. Why is it important to use technology? Because it's automating things. It's making it's important to have less touches on things, to reduce the disinfection risk, to reduce the infection risk. So it's important that everybody goes, use technology to be able to go back to work safely. So what have we done in MEFMA to help people during this pandemic? Number one is doing some research about the industry. So one of the researches that we've done is what I've shown you a few results, which we haven't published yet. It will be published within a week or two. the impact of the industry, of the pandemic on the industry. We have done some articles, white papers, all done by our members for them to share the best practices and knowledge, the knowledge sharing. We also do it through our webinars as well. It's important that we listen to each other during webinars. We become the platform where everybody can share the best practice, share their knowledges. And last but not least is recognition. It's very important for us to recognize our people, to recognize our and not just in the FM industry. It's important to recognize all our employees. We've all been through a lot during this past 6 months. It hasn't been an easy journey. So we need to really recognize and appreciate everybody's efforts into coming out of this pandemic. What we have done to our FM heroes is that we have created an initiative where we have done a collective video of facility management workers doing the disinfection and cleaning the countries that they're in and the buildings that are being used by people to ensure the safety of the users. So we have created a collective, beautiful, touching video of all of them in action, involving 30 companies or employees from 30 companies. And then we have given each and every one of them a certificate of appreciation for all the work that they have been doing for us to be safe. So through this platform, I'm thanking our FM heroes again, anybody, and thanking everyone who has gone through this pandemic and came out sane, I would say, and going back to work. It's an adjustment. It's very important for us to go back gradually. We have recently in MEFMA started going back to work starting yesterday, September, and we're going to do it so that everybody goes 2 to 3 days a week working from the office and 2 to 3 days a week working from home, so that we can do it gradually, trying to use also the right platforms or the right technologies to be able to do this. With that, I will leave you to know more about the Zoho Back to Work. Thank you so much.